Connect to everything you love in life in a bold new way. Introducing BlackBerry Bold. As beautiful as it is powerful.
We're going to move on to the next topic, that is crime, and the question is from Anna Di Aguayo from Montreal.
Yes, I'm a professor at Dawson College. I was present at the shooting of the 13th of September 2006. The weapons used against myself, my colleagues and students were legally purchased in Canada. I was wondering why Parliament has not done anything to try to ban semi-automatic weapons like those used here. Do you plan to introduce specific measures to make those dangerous weapons illegal?
So first response from Jack Layton, please.
When I visited Dawson College, it was very sad. I had 3 constituents in my riding who were killed by a bullet, totally innocent victims. We have to prohibit these weapons. That was mentioned by Anna. And we have to give the provinces the power, the communities, the power to ban handguns in the streets, because that's just unacceptable. And at the same time, we have to help young people. We have to help them find more peaceful paths to take. If we let them just go their own way, we will have more and more problems with the gangs.
Not Mr. Harper, Mr. Layton. Mr. Harper, the floor is yours.
In this incident, it was very troublesome that a person who was evidently dangerous managed to legally obtain guns. That's why we've invested for better checks on gun owners, and that's essential. The weapons classifications that existed were in place since the former Liberal government. I think that we need to have better assessments to avoid this type of situation. Most crimes with weapons are with illegal weapons, and that's another issue.
Thank you. Stéphane Dion.
Yes, Madame Ngoyo, you're completely right. What happened to Madame de Souza is terrible. When this happened at Dawson, and I swore that we would prohibit this kind of weapon, a military weapon, which has no rationale except to kill people. So the military have to have it, but in life, everyday life, we shouldn't have this. It's not used for hunting or anything, and it would be prohibited with the Liberal government. We're also going to implement the firearm registry. According to the Order General, it's working well. We're not going to shelve it. And the police are asking us to do that. It's very important to control weapons, to give more security to the public.
Thank you, Mr. Dion. Ms. May.
That was a good example to apply to the last question. It really is possible to work together in order to ban handguns and ban semiotic weapons. Everyone in the House of Commons must band together and ban these types of weapons. This is not something that is used for hunting. There is no reason for anyone to have a handgun or a semi-automatic weapon. They should be banned as soon as possible.
Thank you. Mr. Giuseppe.
I think the Conservative government's visions and the Quebec government's visions are completely opposite. Mr. Harper's vision is like the Republican Bush vision, have more guns in circulation and more people in prison. Yes, we need to reduce the circulation of firearms, and we have to stop Mr. Harper from putting 14-year-olds or 16-year-olds in prison with adults. That's the university of crime. Everyone disagrees with that approach. We have to be firm, though, with real criminals. That's why the Bloc and Quebec have come up with anti-gang legislation, but it makes no sense to have semi-automatic weapons in circulation. The Bloc has proposed measures, too, to help victims, but that was rejected under EI. That was rejected by Mr. Harper.
if I might respond. When you're talking about stricter sentencing for young offenders, we're talking about very violent crimes, exceptional crimes. We're talking here about repeat offenders. We're not talking about scuffles in the school. We're talking here about extremely violent cases. This is a policy that has been supported by the president of the Quebec Police Union. This is a policy that's been supported by victims groups in Quebec. And the day I announced this policy, I spoke with the family of Sylvain Leduc. This is a man who was kidnapped, tortured, and killed by street gangs. And after months, the perpetrator was set free. How do you explain this to his family? We need to have as much compassion for victims as we do for criminals.
Fully agree on that, not to automatically release people after they've served only 1/6 of their sentence. We're proposing that, but sending 14-year-olds or 16-year-olds in Quebec to an adult prison, I would repeat, that's the University of Crime.
First of all,
if you want people to learn from hardened criminals, young people, that's the way to do it.
Your critic admitted that that's not what we proposed.
Well, what have
we
you
did not propose sending young offenders to adult prisons. What we proposed was not automatic.
A life sentence?
What we proposed was stricter sentences for criminal acts and for violent behavior and for repeat offenders. And that's why the Police Association in Quebec supported